Howdy, howdy, howdy. What's up, my friends here on G Cubes? Of course, I am Schmook. Um, yeah, we're going to do things a little differently this week. We're going to see how, if you guys prefer the uploaded videos or the Sunday stream right before the game start. We have about an hour and a half until the first slate of the football games. I think we're in for a pretty exciting week two because every single year I've come to realize since being a fan, I've only been a fan since about the beginning of college. I was never a huge football guy in general. Besides, like when I like the St. Louis Rams were a thing, I'd like to go into games with my aunts and whatnot, right? But week ones are usually like, bam. They are they they don't really set the tone for the season. Some games do, like you can tell who are like completely dominant teams. But things just happen too, um, again, the Lions beat the Chiefs last week, but they were without Chris Jones, who's one of the best pass rushers in the league, or run stoppers, one of the best DTs in the league, right? Uh, and they have Travis Kelsey, who is the best tight end in the league. I'm from St. Louis. I'm not from Kansas City. I'm not a Chiefs guy, but I respect the hell out of these players. I respect Kelsey and Mahomes and Chris Jones. I think those are three of the best players of their respective positions. And with Mahomes not having two of those guys, there's a pretty big reason why he lost last week, in my opinion. Go Texans and go Pack go. Ugh. Buddy, what's up, Sci-Fi? What's up, buddy? I don't know if you're a big NFL guy, but we're talking some NFL. It's good to have you here. Yeah, but Harris, come on, man. Be a Texans fan. Screw the Packers. I'm a Vikings fan. You know this. You know this. Anyway, but usually week ones don't go how you would expect, right? So I wasn't very accurate completely last week, but I think I did okay. I was able to call a lot of the anytime touchdowns, uh, which I was a big fan of. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna do the same thing basically as last week, where I'm gonna go over each game for today's slate plus the two Monday night games. For some reason, we have two tomorrow. I don't know why we have two games, but that's what's happening. But let's get right into it. But we're also gonna go. I'm gonna go with last week. I was like, oh, I like this person to score, this person to score. I think I'm gonna go with just one guy. I think I have no doubt in my mind can score a touchdown this game. So we're gonna start with Las Vegas versus the Buffalo Bills, and the Bills are 8-point favorites. Buffalo's at home, or they're 7.5-point favorites, so they have to win by 8. So Vegas, they were able to beat. I don't know who they played last week. If any of you guys remember, let me know. But I remember that the Raiders looked okay though. I just can't remember who they played, but they won. Jimmy G looked fine. Devontae Adams was kind of like, he needs his boy Derek Carr or Aaron Rodgers, right? But you had some great guys go off. You had like Kendrick Bourne go off, But the Raiders aren't that team. Jimmy G's not that guy. They're going to be one of the weaker teams this year. I think the only team that's going to end up being weaker are either Washington Commanders or the Arizona Cardinals. I don't like either of those teams at all this year. But Vegas just they have to. They have to get the guy at quarterback, and Jimmy G's obviously not that. It's a good bridge guy. I'll say that. But if they can pull off with the 49ers, then got literally someone no one would ever have drafted, and who's just their guy now, which is Brock Purdy. I think the Raiders could be good. They have a good defense, and they also have just good players in general. But Buffalo are 7.5-point favorites, right? And it's in Buffalo, which is a hard place to play. The stadium is nuts. The fans are nuts. So I like this. I like Josh Allen anytime rushing touchdown. I'm a big fan of that. That's probably my favorite. And if I'm going to pick anything else, it would just be a Stephon Diggs touchdown because he's just unreal. All right, next up we have the Ravens at Cincinnati. So the Bengals are taking on the Ravens. Bengals are at home, and they're 3.5-point favorites. Now, I'm a big fan of the Bengals because they had a terrible week last week. Joe Burrow was not locked in at all. You have probably the best wide receiver in the league, basically doing nothing. With Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. T. Higgins had 8 targets. Only a few of those actually looked like targets. A lot of them weren't even close to him. But he had 0 receptions for 0 yards, right? So that's rare. I think they're about to go off. The Ravens, I think they have a good defense, but Lamar didn't look great last week either. But again, this is going to be a week where I think people start to show up because, like, you saw that on Thursday Night Football, where I think the Vikings played the Eagles. They lost, but it was just a good game. I think Jalen Hurts looked really good. I think Kirk Cousins looked. If the Vikings are 2-0, he's right now the leading candidate to win MVP, right? But instead, we're 0-2. But I have to talk about my Vikings a little bit since I'm not going to be able to talk about them much. But yeah. Anyway, Bengals. I like their spread. They're 3.5-point favorites. Again, I think Lamar's really good. I just think Burrow's a much better player with a better overall team than the Ravens. I might give the Ravens the edge with their coach Harbaugh. That's really it. I think Burrow's much better than Lamar. But if I like anyone to score in this game, I like a big redemption game for T. Higgins. I think he definitely scores a touchdown this game. And on the other side of the ball, I will go with, I think Mark Andrews is questionable, though, who's the Ravens tight end. He's one of the best in the league. He's only behind Travis Kelce, in my humble opinion. I like him. And then I do, if Odell plays, I like Odell scoring a touchdown. Yes, Harris, Monday Night Football is still a thing. We usually have one game a week, but so no matter what, you have Thursday Night Football, then you have the Sunday slates. Sometimes you have Saturday games based on if college football is playing, and then you have Monday Night Football. Where Sunday you have an entire day. We have noon games, you have the 3 o'clock games, and you have Sunday Night Football. But Monday, for some reason this week we have 2 games. I don't know why. OBJ? Oh, he's with the Ravens. He's throwing the ball, or Lamar's throwing the ball to Odell these days. But I think he was out last week, so we haven't really seen him play. But anyway, I like the Bengals. I like that spread. I don't remember if I said if I like the Buffalo spread, but I like Buffalo to beat the Raiders by 8 points. And I like the Bengals to beat the Ravens by more than 4 points. So that's what I like. All right, next up we have KC at Jags. KC are 3.5-point favorites. This is the hardest game. This is a game I won't really touch. No matter what I know, I would take the over. I know it's like supposed to be the highest scoring matchup is what Vegas thinks. So I would take that over, no doubt. But I don't remember what it is. I think it's 54 points, which seems like a lot, but I think it would be quite doable with these 2 powerhouse teams. I don't know who I like to win. I can see it being a close game where Kansas City wins by a field goal. So that's why I think. So I would say the Jags cover, but KC ultimately wins this game because the line is 3.5 points. So that's what I'm thinking. For who to score, I like KC. I like Travis Kelce. I like Kelce an awful lot. With him coming back, he wanted to play so badly last week. He's about to eat this game. And then on the Jags side of the ball, I really like any of their guys. I think Travis Etienne could. My number 1 pick would be Calvin Ridley. I think he's a stud. Trevor Lawrence's number 1 guy. Hell, Trevor Lawrence might even rush for a touchdown. Who knows? But again, I think Calvin Ridley is my safest pick in this game to score a touchdown because I just think he's a monster. But again, I like Christian Kirk. I like Zay Jones. I like this. I like the Jags team. But I do think KC ultimately wins this game. I think it's going to be a close game. Jags may cover. I say KC wins by a field goal. Next up, we have the Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Tennessee Titans at Tennessee. The Chargers are 2.5-point favorites. And I like that. That's perfect. I think the Chargers can easily win by more than a field goal. I think the Titans just did not look good last week. They were able to stay close in the game against the New Orleans Saints, but they don't even look good either. But the Chargers, they played an insane game against Miami where if it wasn't for Tyreek Hill, almost going for 250 receiving yards and I think he had 2 touchdowns, they would have won that game. And unfortunately, the Chargers this week are going to have to deal with some injuries. I don't think Mike Williams is playing. I know for a fact Austin Eckler's not playing. So those are just 2 really good receiving options for Justin Herbert, who's a monster. But he loses 2 good guys. So it's not going to be easy for the Chargers, but I think Ryan Tannehill on Tennessee is looking bad. He does not look good. I think he's definitely becoming a shell of the man he used to be. Okay. Well, I'll answer this for Sci-Fi Quest. For someone who does not live in the United States, American football, I don't want to compare it to rugby, but it's kind of similar. It's just the idea of you throw a ball to someone, the other team tries to stop that from happening, or you try to run the ball and try to get to the other person's side of the field and get into their end zone, which is how you score. And then you can score also by kicking a ball through these metal things, which would be less points, but you can still score. Uh, that's literally the most simplest term way to explain football, American football, but it's fun. It's just nice to see it's like a gladiator match in a way. Like, yeah, that's a good way to explain it. Also, Harris, padded rugby with a tad less violence. Yeah, I agree. Because they do care about the players' health ultimately, but people get hurt consistently every day. So, what are you gonna do? But it's a fun sport. I recommend if you can somehow watch it. I know if you're in the UK, they have at least a couple Britain games each year. I'm pretty sure. So check it out. They're fun. Anyway, so I like the Chargers to win and cover because I just don't think the Titans look very good. Ryan Tannehill just does not look good at all. But if I'm going to say anyone scores in this game, I like Derrick Henry on the Titans. I like the chance of DeAndre Hopkins for Tennessee scoring. And then on the Chargers side of the ball, that's the harder one because without Austin Eckler, who I think would be the easiest lock, but someone has to score because I do think the Chargers are going to beat the Titans. But I could be wrong, all right? Because I don't want to pick all favorites, but so far that's kind of what I'm having in my head, but it never works out that way. So, Sci-Fi Quest. I know exactly what you're talking about. I've heard about the London Monarch. So, yeah, American football is just cool, but I recommend watching it more if you can. I think it's fun. I think it's just like for us, it's just nice just to be able to have a whole Sunday, hang out with your friends, have some drinks or some food, just hang out, watch some football. It's just a good day. But anyway, so I like Quentin Johnson. If Mike Williams is out, I think he can get a lot of looks. He's a rookie. They drafted him in the first round, so this is going to be a good excuse for the Chargers to give him the ball, see what he's got. Keenan Allen, we'll see. I think he's going to be more of a guy to get down the field. Joshua Kelly, I think for sure has a touchdown. So that's who I like. So I like the Chargers spread, and I like Joshua Kelly the most to score a touchdown in this game. All right, we're going to start flying through this a bit more because the games are going to start here in no time. But we've only been through 4 games. But next we have Green Bay at Falcons. The Falcons are in Atlanta, and they're 3-point favorites. So I think the Falcons look decent, but they don't know how to throw the ball. If the Packers are able to honestly to stop the run, which I think they could be capable of, I think they could easily win this game. Oh, sorry. Hey, Harris, I got you. Good question to ask. No, but I know you're a big Packers fan. I think they beat the Falcons straight up. I would take their money line. I wouldn't really take their spread because I think they will definitely beat the Falcons. Because I just don't think Desmond Ridder is a good quarterback. But I will say I just got a notification now on my phone. The Packers will be without Aaron Jones, Christian Watson, and David Bakhtiari, who are probably their 3 best players on that team. So actually, I might actually lean towards the Falcons. But again, Jordan Love might be that guy. He looked really good last week, but it could also just be proven that the Bears might just suck also. So we'll see. This is a game I would just stay away from ultimately. But so I would say maybe don't bet on this one unless you want to throw some anytime touchdowns on here. I like Bijan Robinson anytime touchdown. I think he's a boss. I like Ryan Algier or Tyler Algier. I think he's that's a good running back duo in Atlanta. I'd like to say Drake London, but I mean, I don't know. He got barely any targets last week, and they just don't throw the ball. That's what sucks with the Falcons. So we'll see. But I think Green Bay has. I think they'll win this game if I'm going to bet on this. I don't think I'm going to bet on it, but Green Bay. I think they looked really good last week. This is going to be very telling. No, Harris, if you're a big Pacs guy, I think Love's going to be really good. He looked really good last week. But it's just a matter of they played the Bears, and the Bears looked really bad last week. So I don't know if it's are the Packers good or the Bears just dog shit, So I think that's why I do much better at this after week 3 because I'm able to tell how teams play and how who's actually good, But I think Love, he could be something special. Also, I just got a notification that DeAndre Hopkins is officially in for the Tennessee Titans game, so that helps. again, if Tannehill can come off and like do some work against the Chargers, I think the Titans do win. But Tannehill looked terrible last week. But again, we already talked about that. But the Chargers are still my pick ultimately. But that's the only X factor is Ryan Tannehill. Anyway, I want to touch this game. I said my touchdown scores. I just think Green Bay. Again, Jordan Love looks good, but he just doesn't have two of his best offensive pieces, so I just don't love it. Or three of his best offensive pieces, like one of the best tackles in the league, one of the best running backs in the league, and one of the best young wide receivers in the league. So it's gonna be hard for Green Bay to win. So take what you will from that. Next up, we have Seattle at Lions. So that's in in Detroit. And honestly, the Lions have they're 4.5-point favorites, and I'll take that all day. I think Seattle, they did not look good last week. Geno Smith got paid, and they just didn't look good. I think they're going to start to turn it on a bit. I think the Lions are just a damn good team, so I would take them to win this no matter what. But I think Seattle has a lot of potential. I think they're going to be a team that starts off 0-2 that can make playoffs, just like the Vikings, in my opinion. They just look too good. They just have to fix certain aspects of their game. For anytime touchdown scores, I think Jahmyr Gibbs, I would take him definitely rushing over 90 yards, definitely scoring a touchdown. He looked like a monster week one, and he's supposed to get a lot heavier workload in this game. I also like Amon-Ra St. Brown. I think he scores. Seattle, I definitely love DK Metcalf. I think Tyler Lockett's a lock to score a touchdown. But yeah, I just like the Lions. I like them winning this game, 4.5-point favorites, and that's a good line for this game because I think Seattle can keep it close. I could definitely see them just losing by a field goal, but I just think the Lions are good enough to win by more than a field goal. Next up, we have the Colts at the Texans. Texans are 1-point favorites. This is kind of the shit bowl of the week. These are just young teams. Like they both have two rookie quarterbacks who are starting to look good. They're just not there yet. Texans are the favorites, but I think I like the Colts more. I like what they brought last week. You know, they did a pretty decent job against the Jaguars. They didn't win, but I still think they did a good job. So I would take the Colts spread or even money line, but I think it would all just be the same amount. So I would just take the Colts to win this game. But hey, Harris, I'll tell you what. Like the Texans, they're on the horizon. I think they're very close. Also, hey to whoever else is in this chat or watching the stream, it's good to have you. Oh, David. Sci-Fi. Listen to what David has to say. That's a great way to explain the game. But anyway, so I think the Texans they're close. Same with the Colts. They're just not there yet. So this game's kind of a coin flip in my eyes. So next we have Bears at Tampa playing the Bucks. And again, I think this is a game that can show me that I might just be thinking too much about how the Bears have been acting or how they've been playing. I mean, because again, I've only seen 1 week of them play, right? And they were just okay. They did not play well. But the Bucks, they beat the Vikings last week, and they looked pretty good. So I would take the Bucks to win. They're at home. It's a hard place to play at home. They have to win by more than a field goal or by a field goal. So I see it happening. I think it could be a closer game than we think. I think Baker Mayfield actually might be pretty good. Hey, you're on here. Want to say hey?
On what?
I'm live.
Oh, okay. I didn't know you were doing this down here.
That's all good. Yeah. You can do what you're doing.
Well, I know, but you're in the middle.
Well, I'm aware. Anyway, where was I? Oh, Bears and Bucks. Got a little cameos there. I think Baker Mayfield actually has a good game. I like Chris Godwin actually a lot in this game. I think Mike Evans had a good game last week, but he usually does. But I think it's usually one of those things like they're that type of wide receiver duo, where it's like one's going to go off 1 week and the next one's going to go off. So I kind of like Chris Godwin in this game. I think this is the game where you're going to see DJ Moore get a lot more targets from the Bears. So Justin Fields. But again, I think this has to prove if this is going to work for Justin Fields, like that project they have. Like, can he throw the ball? Because they have a good young wide receiver with DJ Moore. So we'll see what happens after today. I still like the Bucks. That's what I'm going to take. All right, that's it for the noon games or the first games of the week. We're going to go into the 3 p.m. games and then the Sunday night football. and Monday Night Football. Here we go. So next up we have the Giants playing the Cards at Cards. I like the Giants no matter what. They're 4-point favorites. The Giants are. The Cardinals just don't look good. They don't have Kyler Murray. They're in a weird spot. The Cardinals are just in a weird spot this year. Also, just got a notification that the Mark Andrews is in fact active. So that's for the Ravens. So that kind of helps their case a bit more. I just think that'll be a good game. I still like the Bengals to win that game. But the Giants, I believe, will win this game. I think they're just going to have a good bounce back game after getting absolutely clobbered by the Cowboys last week. That was a rough game. But I like them for sure this game. But I like to score a touchdown. I like Saquon Barkley, and I like the Giants defense actually a lot. So 4-point favorites, take that. Next up, we have 49ers at Rams. It's going to be quick. I like anyone to score on the 49ers team. I like McCaffrey. I like Brandon Ayuk the most. And then for the Rams, I like my boy Kyron Williams. I want to be high till I die, baby. We went to high school together. Good man. Now, the Rams, I just don't think they're gonna like. It's in LA. It's in LA. But Cal Shanahan, who's the 49ers head coach, he's 8-1 against Sean McVay as the Rams head coach. I like those odds, and I like them to win by more than a touchdown because it's been the track record as of late. So for the Rams, though, I like Kyron Williams score a touchdown, and I like their tight end Tyler Higbee. That's really it. Why are you barking, man? Hold on, dog's barking. All right, he's calmed down. All right, so again, 49ers like that spread no matter what. Next up, we have the Jets at the Cowboys. Cowboys are 8.5-point favorites. I like Cowboys defense to score this game, no matter that. That's gonna be easy. They looked unreal last week against Buffalo, and the Jets are a much worse team than Buffalo. And then Jets who I like to score. I like Breece Hall. I like Dalvin Cook. Garrett Wilson, maybe. It depends how Zach Wilson plays. But again, the Cowboys might just go off this game. CeeDee Lamb, Cowboys defense are my easy favorites to score. And that's it. That's it. All right. Hey, Pan, who do you like this week?
What?
Who do you like this week the most?
Jets.
You like the Jets? I'm talking about the Jets right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Jets.
All right. Well, he likes the Jets, so if you want to take Pan's pick of the week, there you go. All right, guys. Next up, we have Washington at Denver. Denver's 4-point favorites. I don't think Washington's it at all this year. Denver doesn't look good either. Oh, it's getting a little chaotic. Oscar, you need to calm it down, my guy. All right. So again, I like Denver. Gotta find a better spot. So the Jets, I don't like them. I don't like them at all. But Payton seems to like them, which I respect his opinion. But let's see, Washington Commanders. Oscars, please, man. Gotta love technical difficulties on this end. But Sunday's always a fun time around here. But so Washington, I don't like it all against the. Who are they playing again? Hold on. We got this. Just moving back. I just wanted to let the lady sister do what she can do. Anyway, we got Denver. I like the same lot. So, yeah, great. I agree, Harris. I think the cell phone makes things easy to pick up and move. Yeah. Just the space I'm usually recording in just wasn't available currently. My girlfriend's sister likes studying there, so I just had to, do this in the kitchen this time. But it's all good. We're back on track. But Denver, I don't like Russell Wilson that much. I don't like the team that much. I don't like Washington that much. So this is a game I would stay away from. But Denver being 4-point favorites, I think that's not a bad thing. I think 4 points they can easily win by. Denver's a hard place to play in. Oscar, you're barking at nothing, man. Sam Howell, I kind of like in this game as well. It's just like these are two teams I just don't know what to have, like where to put my. I just don't know where to place them at all. Because like we've only gotten 1 week. I just don't think either team looks that good. But I'll just say I like. I think who's even active on the Broncos. Like their team's very hurt right now. Like Jerry Judy's not available. I like Samaj Perine, who's one of the running backs. I think he can score a touchdown. I think he's really underrated. I think he's pretty good. Commanders, if you're gonna bet on anyone, I like either Brian Robinson or Jahan Dotson to score a touchdown. They have a good, wide receiver core. They have a good running back room, and their quarterback could be good. He could be. So Commanders have potential. They're a good young team. So maybe I'll take them to win it outright because I think Denver's just like, okay, you have Russell Wilson, you have Sean Payton, but they just have a lot of injuries on their offense, and their defense isn't as good as it used to be. So, yeah. Now we have Sunday Night Football, guys. This is probably maybe not my most anticipated game. My most anticipated game was Thursday Night Football because I think the Eagles and Vikings are going to be two really good teams in the NFC this year. But I think it's going to be a good game. You have the Miami Dolphins going on to New England to take on the Patriots, right? And the Patriots are 2.5-point favorites. Miami's 2.5-point favorites. My bad. I like that. Patriots, again, they usually play very well at home, right? Belichick's really good against that. I don't know. I like what the Patriots had to bring last week, though. They did really well against the Eagles, who I think are one of the better teams in the league. And I love Tua. I think Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill might end up being the best wide receiver duo in the league. I think Tyreek Hill is, no matter what, it's like a 1A, 1B scenario with him and Justin Jefferson. I think they're the two best players in the league, wide receiver-wise. But yeah, Jalen Waddle is just like a younger Tyreek Hill. You think so, Sci-Fi? I'll see what I can do, man. It gets busy, but hey, you'll see me on Tuesdays and Mondays for sure for what we have currently with Star Wars, with Ahsoka, as well as I do my Marvel streams on Mondays. And I try to do this as much as possible. But hey, appreciate you, Sci-Fi. I'll try to do what I can. It's just it's been busier, just in general life. But anyway, we got Miami. I need to take a drink of this. Got me distracted, Sci-Fi. Anyway, I like Tyreek Hill to score a touchdown this game. Kind of like Jalen Waddle to score a touchdown this game. I like Raheem Mostert to score a game. Ooh, I mean, hey, I think that would have been really cool if Tua was on the Texans. I agree. But again, I just like the Dolphins. Dolphins are like easily one of my favorite teams in the league. I just love their unis. I like the team itself. I've always liked their history. So I was a big fan. So if you didn't catch this, I like them to beat the Patriots. I like that 2.5-point spread, and I think Tyreek Hill scores a fuck ton of points for fantasy. If you're a fantasy fan, maybe I'll maybe I'm gonna start to do some fantasy content on here because I know a lot of people like fantasy football, and I'm a big fan. Just at least do like starts of the week, something like that. We'll talk, Harris. We'll talk. But this is strictly for betting purposes. But next up we have the New Orleans Saints taking on the Carolina Panthers. The Saints are favorites in this game. They're 3-point favorites. I just like it. I think the Panthers, they're just young. Like they have Bryce Young, who I think will be really good. Harris, you're gassing me up, bro. But anyway, the Saints, I think they look okay. They were able to beat the Titans. It was a close game. But I don't think the Titans look very good. Again, after week 2, I think I get a much better idea of who's actually good. But the Saints, I just like them in this game. The Panthers are just young. They have some good pieces all around and a good young quarterback. I just think they're a couple years away. Oh, yeah, Dolphins are 6, Sci-Fi. I think that's some of the coolest colors, orange and like a teal. Beautiful. But who do I like to score in this game? I like Chris Olave. We're going to find out. Derek Carr usually likes to zone in on one guy, and that they're usually one of the best wide receivers in the league that year. happened last year with Devontae Adams, happened the year before that with like Hunter Renfrow, and before that with Darren Waller, the tight end. So Derek Carr's really good for one specific guy. We're going to see who that is. It might be Michael Thomas, might be Chris Olave, it could be this Shaheed, I believe is his name. But we'll see. But I like the Saints. Panthers. If I'm going to say anyone else scores, I'd like to see Adam Thielen score a touchdown in the blue colors because he was a long time Viking. He's just my guy. I would like to see him still have success, even though he's like 33, 34 years old. But we'll see. And then we have the last game. So Monday Night Football. We have the Cleveland Browns taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers, which I think this is going to be a pretty good game. The Browns are 2.5-point favorites, and the Steelers have already lost a game this season. Mike Tomlin will always find ways to win these types of games. So I like the Steelers. They're at home. The Browns actually do look good this year, but I think the Steelers are able to have a good bounce-back game from last week where they got smushed by the 49ers. But again, Cleveland looks good. They took down Joe Burrow quite well. But it's a divisional game, so it's just hard. That's why I think the Browns were able to beat the Bengals last week. It's divisional. They're always harder games, and that's how I feel with the Browns taking on the Steelers. And the Browns, their wide receiver 1, Amari Cooper, is questionable. So if he doesn't play, that also helps. So if I would take this spread now, where like the Steelers just have to, I think they can win this game. 2.5 points isn't bad. So who do I like to score in this game? I think Elijah Moore kind of goes off, especially if Amari Cooper is gone. He's definitely the wide receiver 2 on this team. I like Nick Chubb to score. I think he's one of, if not the best running back in the league now, like purely running back. He took that over from Derrick Henry, who's just getting a little older. But the Browns, they look good. So I like Nick Chubb. He's just good. Steelers, I like George Pickens. I think is going to have like one of those highlight reel type of catches this game. So I think he'll score a cool touchdown. And then I think their tight end, Pat Freiermuth, I think he's really good. So I don't know. I just always think the Steelers will always find a way to win with Mike Tomlin. He's like the best. I think he's the best coach in the league. And it's a divisional game. He usually plays really well against in-division opponents. But all right, guys, I think that's going to do it. We had a nice little 32-minute long stream. Nice. Just please just like the video. Leave some comments down below about who you like this week. And Sci-Fi Quest, my man. If you can start catching some NFL games, I highly recommend. It's a lot of fun. But all right, guys. I hope your team, if you're watching, great. Sure. Adding the background extras was clever. Oh, of course. It's always fun. Yeah, have a great week, guys. I will see you tomorrow. I will be live streaming for our our comic adaptations weekly. I think I might get a guest on there. I'm going to try to get my buddy Brad, and I think if he can't do it, we're going to think of something else, but be on the lookout for that, where we're going to probably discuss the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, so that should be a lot of fun, because that's me and Brad's like favorite movie trilogy of all time. It's up there. We'd probably talk that or The Dark Knight to maybe switch up from Marvel, but I like doing that. We're doing the early Marvel things. But all right, guys, have an awesome Sunday. Get some gosh, I can't talk anymore. Get some rest and relaxation. I will see y'all very soon.